Good evening, my loved ones. This is your old friend Ashtar. Piercing the veil of illusion to reach to you, to share with you of my presence. I ask that you relax yourselves and to be natural. We have some work to do this evening. We need to do some clearing, I can see. A lot of random thought patterns this evening. A lot of emotional clearing taking place. We will address this. I would like you to know that I am not alone this evening. Lord Sananda himself is with us. Here to lend his support, to assist us in our endeavor. And it is quite an endeavor, is it not? Simply to be embodied at this time on the earth's surface is quite a challenge. And on top of all that, we are requesting you to unfold your earth missions and do more than simply survive. We are challenging you to complete your earth mission and your service, to open to that which you are, deeper levels of yourselves. So I ask that you relax and breathe with me. I think you are going to enjoy this evening. I would like to speak a little bit about the state of the mission. I'll give you my state of the mission address. I come to speak to you, my constituents, this evening, my earthbound voters. As you know, we are having quite a campaign. At times it looks as if the opposition has us bamboozled. We are not prepared to throw in the towel as of yet. You could say we have a few tricks up our sleeves. There is a great activation that is occurring now. We have spoken many times in the past about the waves of energy, and the various intensifications of spiritual grace and presence. And this process does continue. Perhaps you have been feeling a great clearing taking place within you in recent days and weeks. This is as a precursor to these new energies that are coming through and will be coming through more intensely. There is another activation taking place through which we hope to awaken as many star seeds and light workers as possible. And by awakening, I mean not merely opening your eyes, but actually getting out of bed. You know who you are. Actually getting up and moving around and beginning your daily responsibilities. Sometimes it takes a great deal of initial effort, doesn't it? Some of you may be feeling that sense of drowsiness, that longing to remain in that comfortable nest of sleep. Nevertheless, we are here to rattle your cages and shake you and wake you. We are going to open the curtains and allow the sun to stream in upon you. And if you can cooperate with these energies and open to them, we will not have to throw cold water on you. Can be quite unpleasant first thing in the morning. Oh, I'm just getting used to being an ascending being. Now all of this cold water on my head. So truly you are in the midst, or in the beginning stages, I would say, of another great phase of awakening. The effects of these energies upon you will vary depending upon your alignment with your higher selves and with your earth missions. If you are one who is in alignment and following your spiritual path, you will enjoy this as another wave, another blast, perhaps a little bit challenging, but nevertheless you will be able to enjoy it. If you are as ones who have been still slumbering onwards, these energies will call you to a little bit more self-examination. Call you to view your lives from a bit higher of perspective, and hopefully to inspire you to get on with your work, get on with your missions. The unfoldment of your own ascension and the unfoldment of this planetary ascension, which is the campaign that we are engaged in. It is time for you each to come to the grips with the challenge of who you are and what you are here to do, as you find it increasingly difficult to pull the covers over your heads and remain simply a physical and a mental and emotional being. You are between a rock and a hard place, you could say. On one hand, you are opening to spirit, but perhaps spirit is coming to you and through you, and beginning to come through more profoundly and more powerfully than you might have imagined, calling you to unfold the magnificence of who you are. There is very little middle ground for you who are volunteers. Those who volunteered to come to this earth plane many, many thousands of years ago to assist with the transformation that is now taking place are under contract. And this contract is calling you now to make a total commitment to your own enlightenment, to your own ascension, and to following your spirit without hesitation in each moment of your lives, and performing whatever functions that guidance leads you into. Each of you have your own areas of expertise, your own ways of being. You each have various potentials within you. These are being tapped. If you have been feeling restless lately, perhaps you have been releasing those very patterns and limitations that will be needing to be out of the way. Those things that have been clouding your judgment, your vision. You can see, I believe, most of you have the vision to see the situation that planet Earth is in, that truly what is going to happen very soon and very quickly, and you're being called to participate in this as channels of higher dimensional energy, as channels of your own God selves, and perhaps as channels of we, your compatriots of the higher dimension. It is not recommended that you continue to resist these energies if you have been. It is recommended that you go with the flow of these energies. They will become more and more powerful. And if you are aligned with them, you will become more and more powerful, more and more liberated, more in joy and love, and more able to function as a divine being, as the divine masters that you are. Resistance to these energies will only cause you difficulty and confusion. Perhaps you have had the experience of feeling called by your spirit, by your hearts, by your guidance, into particular ways of acting or ways of being. And you have pulled the covers over your heads and said, no thank you, I think that sounds too difficult, and tried to go back to sleep. This is a common occurrence. You have all experienced it. What are the results of this? This resistance and this attempt to hide from your own self generally results in feelings of less than a perfect experience, to put it mildly. It can result in physical discomforts, emotional discomforts, all number of strange manifestations, even into your physical lives, even into manifesting strange occurrences and relationship experiences. Spirit is not playing around with any of you. You could say that a spirit is playing hardball at this time. As the campaign draws to a close, we've got to pull out all the stops, you see. The laws that are in effect, that are affecting you, are immutable. It is all designed to assist in your ascension and in the release of all limitations and in the completion of your contracts. You have contracts that you have signed that have been notarized. You can't get out of them. Sananda is quite a legal mind. Did you know that? And he is holding your paper. He is holding your contracts within his heart. On the other hand, if you are giving yourself to Spirit, doing your utmost to follow your guidance, your lives are becoming more and more wonderful. Your resistance is becoming less and less. Your fears are diminishing. You are realizing yourself not only as a third-dimensional, physical, emotional, mental being, but also as a higher dimensional being. Your fifth-dimensional self are connected with you and connecting with you, and you are feeling that presence and that power that is able to flow through them, through your open channel. And you are utilizing this energy to create and co-create a beautiful experience of service, a beautiful experience of life for yourselves and for others. I ask you to hear me this evening. I ask you to choose to follow Spirit at this time. It is challenging, but it is the only way for you. There has been much talk about comfort zones. It is a common expression that you have used. Everyone says, they are stuck in a comfort zone. They aren't into growing. Very quickly they are enjoying their comfort zone. We are creating a new comfort zone for all of you. It is a comfort zone that you will experience as you give yourself to Spirit and as you experience your own ascension. The gradual lifting of your consciousness and of your physical self into the higher dimensions. It is going to be more comfortable for you to follow this path than to resist. So how is that for a comfort zone? So this activation, this energy that I am speaking of, is in its initial phases and will continue for some time. The result of this will be perhaps a bit of a challenge for you at first, but the result of it, inevitably, it is our hope, will be that you are in the clear, so to speak, that you become fully activated, that the cobwebs of illusion and confusion finally fall from your consciousness, that it becomes easy for you to master your ascension path and to master this third-dimensional stage of activity to the point where you are fully functioning as masters on the earth plane. In your self-examination, I must point out to you the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. You may look at yourselves and see the places where you have tried to pull the covers over your head and where you have resisted, and you may start whipping yourselves and saying, what a bad person I am. I'm not fulfilling my earth mission. At that point, and prior to that point, I wish you to open to self-love and acceptance. You need to be clear about what you are doing, why you are doing it, but you do not need to criticize yourselves. You need to make course adjustments in your lives and in your spiritual practice. These course adjustments will be made more clear to you. Some of you, it is only a very small amount of fine-tuning. For others, it might be a radical shift in your lifestyle, a radical shift in your behavior. It is that Sananda and the Heavenly Father love you so much. That every possible assistance is being offered to assist you to gain that clarity and that personal power and empowerment that you require to continue to unfold your missions in these troubled times on this world. The energies of this world, as you can notice, as you may have been feeling lately, have become more and more chaotic, more and more troubled, because of the great clearings that are taking place. It requires you to be that much more focused. It requires you to remember with that much more clarity who you are and what you are here to do, and to actually do that. Your intention is all important. Some of you are probably thinking, it's impossible, I will never be able to focus myself and to attain my ascension. It is too difficult. It is truly not difficult. It is quite simple. If your intention is clear, then you will receive the guidance you need. And in receiving your guidance, it is a choice, a simple choice in each moment, whether or not to meditate. You are all faced with that choice daily, on a moment-to-moment basis at times, whether to be conscious of your aliveness or whether to give yourself to external stimulations, of which there are many. It is very simple. And it all occurs in this moment that you find yourselves in. It is never something that you have to do in the future. Oh, if I follow my mission, I'm going to have to do this and become a world teacher, and it's all too frightening. So I'm pulling the covers over my head, and I don't care what Sananda says. But you see, that's a trick of your mind. Truly, your mission is only in each moment, and you will never be asked to perform or to open in any way that is not perfectly in alignment with who you are and what you are here to do, and with your joy. Your joy is what we are here to uncover, you know. Your joy is aligned and directly connected with your missions. You know the old expression, another New Age expression, do what you love and the money will follow. So do what you love. That's what you're here to do. You can spend hours and hours worrying about manifesting a sufficient financial monies to survive here. Or you could just do what you love and trust. And if you don't know what you love, you can go inside and ask for guidance and meditate and do what occurs to you in that moment. The unfoldment and the activation that we are speaking of, as I said, is a moment-to-moment experience of following your feelings, following your heart, and acting upon those impulses that you feel from within rather than reacting to external impulses. The external impulses that are available to you at this time to draw upon are sheer lunacy. In this world that is getting crazier by the minute, the thought patterns that are out there for you to draw upon are not entirely healthy for you. The thought patterns and programming that you have experienced in your lives and that are in activity now in the world are counterproductive to the ascension path. All the fears and all the worries and all the negative programmings are all based upon the fact that you are a poor, pitiful mortal trapped in a body, struggling to survive in third-dimensional reality. You see, the very foundation of belief that this world has used to attempt to program human beings is based on illusion. You are immortal beings. You are powerful beings. There is nothing that can stop you in your activation. There is nothing that can stop you from attaining your complete ascension in this lifetime. So, concerning the mission, as I said, the state of the mission, things are proceeding quite well on a planetary scale. The maelstrom of emotions and experiences that are present are being cleared. And if you are feeling these types of experiences within you, strange manifestations, know that they are being cleared so that you can come into that state of full activation and empowerment. It seems to us the number one challenge before the star seeds is to remain awake. It is quite simple to feel that awakening when you first hear of the ascension plan for your planet and for yourself. It is very easy to become very excited about it and gung-ho and give yourself to that, but it seems to us from our observations that maintaining your awakeness is the challenge. Maintaining your focus, maintaining your trust and your faith. For as long as it takes for you to complete your missions. Fortunately for you, you are not alone. Fortunately for you, you have so many guides and masters serving you, surrounding you with their grace and protection. Fortunately, it is not a matter of time, but a matter of enlightenment and evolvement. We have been bringing through of late information to assist in your understanding of the Ascension plan, the evacuation plan, etc., whatever you wish to label it, to assist you in your awareness of what is occurring with you and what you are to do. It does appear at this time there will be several waves of a group ascension, mass ascensions, it is our hope. I would say to you that the first wave and the second wave of this experience will be truly spiritual experiences and not evacuation in a physical sense. Some of you have listened to our tapes of our discussions of this. Some of you have not. As I said, we are making the rounds of our constituents. So to make your leap into the ascended state is an internal experience of your spiritual evolvement, of giving yourself to meditation, giving yourself to following your guidance. I am asking that you not be attached to timetables or to any other manifestations of projections of time and dates, but I would say to attend to your spiritual growth and attend to those energies that you are feeling in each moment, for you never know when it will occur with you. It may be that some will go into their full attainment of ascension earlier than others. The waves that we are speaking of will be energy waves. These energy waves will activate mass ascensions. It will be as a final nudge or a final energetic push for those who are at the threshold of the ascension experience. Your job, your work is to prepare yourselves to maintain yourself at that threshold as best you can, and to do what occurs to you in the meantime regarding activities of service and self-expression. Ashtar's residence. Leave a message. I am unable to come to the phone right now. I am yakking. So we are asking you to understand a bit more about your ascension path, to take the time to examine this, explore this, and give yourselves to it if it is your desire. There is so much left to experience. There is so much joy that awaits you. We call to you to give yourselves wholeheartedly to these awakenings, wholeheartedly to your meditations, to have the awareness of the times that you are living in. Do not take your reality from the television set or from the newspaper. Take your reality from us. Take your reality from that which you perceive internally in your meditations, in your messages, what your guides are telling you. Ordinary consciousness will tell you that nothing is happening, that the world is going along as usual, that everything is under control, that the world's problems can all be solved if we simply apply ourselves to them, because the alternative is too impossible to imagine. The alternative that you hold within your consciousness, the alternative of planetary ascension that we have planted within you, that you nurture with your spiritual work, is the alternative that will manifest, that will solve the problem, that will clean up the Earth's environment, that will restructure an entire planet, that will ascend an entire planet, respatialize an entire planet and all of the beings upon it. Now, which reality would you prefer to believe? So, how do you like my campaign speech so far?
Great.
There is more that we will do this evening, but I think now is a good time to ask if any of you have questions for me.
I have a question. When we give ourselves, did I hear correctly earlier in the year, we give ourselves diligently to meditation and give ourselves to spirit, that our veils could be lifted, we could manifest while we're still here on earth?
Yes, this is ultimately your path, yes. You do not need to wait for any particular ascension experience, the completion of that, before you can manifest the powers that you have within you. They will gradually manifest as you evolve and express. It is our intention to take each of you, with your willingness and assistance, into a place where you are able to manifest that which you require, where you are empowered sufficiently, where you are above the fray, so to speak, liberated from emotional traumas and all of the dense energies that are still to be released here, even while you are in your physical form. It is a process of unveiling, a process by which you remember who you are and, I know how to manifest things. I simply project and they appear. You see, the energies that are coming through now in this activation, which have been coming through, but especially more profoundly at this time, are going to result in your abilities to manifest. In fact, what you have been seeing around you are your creations. Part of self-mastery and part of aligning with spirit is to create only that which you truly want in your hearts and not that which you are afraid of, that which you are projecting out of fear or other limitations. So manifestation is going to be intensified. That is why we say if you are giving yourself to alignment with your spirit, your lives will be manifesting much easier. If you are not, it will manifest more difficulty. We're shaking the fence now, you see. Or shall I say, the Heavenly Father is shaking the fence and we are assisting, trying to nudge you to fall off on the side of the light, to jump off into the light. Does this answer your question sufficiently?
Yes, thank you.
It's not going to be dull, my friends. Believe it or not, you are all very brave individuals. You are the most adventurous souls to partake of this experiment. And truly it has been an experiment. And we see it as a successful experiment.